All right, so do you need to induce a period or know where you are in your menstrual cycle before you start to stimulate your ovaries for IUI or IVF? You do not. Now, we used to think it was a really good idea to induce something that resembled a period in people that weren't regularly menstruating on their own. These people often have PCOS, that's polycystic ovarian syndrome, or diminished ovarian reserve, either from natural aging or other conditions. And the old school treatment involved taking several days of lab-made progesterone called progestin and then stopping. As the progestin levels would drop, any lining tissue in the uterus should break down and a bleed should start, which is why this sort of period is technically called a withdrawal bleed. It's a result of the tissues withdrawing off progesterone. Now, the idea here was that inducing a bleed like this might be really helpful to sort of reset and give the ovaries and uterus a really clear starting place. In the uterus, it'd get rid of anything old and funky, so a nice fresh lining could start anew. And in the ovaries, it would mimic a new start to a cycle, which all sounds like really solid reasoning, right? Wrong. It was actually dead wrong. Newer research actually suggests that this withdrawal bleed technique actually decreases success rates and hurts pregnancy odds in both IUI and IVF. Now, there are several different theories as to why, and it probably actually depends on the exact situation. For instance, with PCOS, it appears that exposing the lining to progestin and wiping out any lining that was already there dramatically decreases and downregulates certain molecules in the uterine lining that help signal and support implantation. And even if we don't fully understand exactly all the underlying mechanisms, the data seems to be pretty clear. It's probably way better to just start your IUI or your FET IVF meds or your stimming IVF meds and not force a period first if it isn't already happening on its own. Now, here's one quote about this from an article called "Is Menses Induction Necessary Before Ovulation Induction?" And this is from the Contemporary OBGYN website in 2024. The traditional practice of administering progestin to provoke a withdrawal bleed has no foundation in evidence-based practice. In addition, recent data raises important questions regarding the conventional wisdom that induction of a withdrawal bleed in anovulatory, not ovulating women, prepares the endometrium, the lining, for pregnancy initiation, implantation, in a subsequent cycle. In fact, results suggest that there may be an advantage in avoiding initiation of progestin withdrawal. All of this is to say, in a very hoity-toity way, again, if you don't ovulate and you don't cycle regularly on your own and you're doing an IUI or an IVF, talk with your doctor about random start IUI or IVF. And even if you're doing an embryo transfer with a prior frozen embryo in IVF, avoid going on progestin and forcing a bleed ahead of time. Instead, just move straight into your lining prep without a period. It's probably better for your implantation odds. Be sure to talk with your doctor about all of this if you're in any of these camps. I've put the link to the website that quote is from in the description below. It's got lots more info too. And if you're still trying to conceive naturally and you need to induce a period just to have a chance, check out my video called "Can You Induce a Period?" and my videos about PCOS. I hope info like this makes your cycles more successful, your life easier, and ultimately puts your mind at ease. I adore making sure that people have their best paths to the fastest and the best odds of pregnancy success. And even if it sometimes rocks the boat for a little bit, newer evidence-based science is always the key here. Remember, if you're doing IVF, I would love you to sign up for my IVF Insider course. And if you're doing IUI right now, my Trying to Conceive Timing freebie guide is going to help you follow along and get your best possible IUI timing, even with intercourse timing. Don't assume that your clinic is getting customized here. They might be, but they might not. So follow along and fact check what your body is doing in real time, because no one is more invested in this than you.